this feeling, baby, we're invincible.
Hi guys, and welcome back to a brand new season of Rebuilding Notts County. As always, I'm back in this hat that is, oh my god, this hat is so annoying. You have no idea how annoying this hat is. It's so big. Like, who thought this was a good idea is all I can really say about that. But as always, if you're enjoying the save, drop a like on the video. That'd be tremendous. It's our first season in the Premier League. I'm sorry, I've got to lose the hat. It's actually blocking the light from my face now. Like, I legitimately don't know how I was able to wear that in previous videos. So we're doing a sort of unplugged Robin Hood kind of vibe now for the remainder of this. So, where are we? We're in the Premier League. I thought I'd start on the club vision so you can see that the board are still demanding loads of stuff from us, even though we're in the Premier League. Really freaking annoying. Because someone told me when they got promoted to the Premier League, the board got rid of a lot of this stuff. Yeah, no, required. Play high-tempo pressing football as a newly promoted Premier League side, and play possession football, and play attacking football, and make the most of set pieces. Fair enough, that's fine. Really? I mean, come on. Like, if you're a newly promoted Premier League side and you are Notts County, do you really think that the board would be putting kind of requirements like that on the manager? Like, we're expected to fight bravely against relegation, but at the same time, they expect us to play high-tempo pressing football, play possession and attacking football. We're newly promoted, you mugs! Bit annoying. So hopefully that doesn't cost us in the long run. I am kind of untouchable, so to speak, at the moment according to the board, which should help us. We have now got a worldwide scouting range. We're improving the youth facilities again. All is looking very, very nice and that sort of things. So I just thought I'd start here. So you can see we do have some transfer budget left and a fair amount of wage budget, but not as much as you might imagine. Some players have got new contracts, but by God, there's been a lot of transfer activity this summer. At first it was very slow going, but then it just really started to ramp up. And I think we've made some pretty nice signings to give us a really good chance at staying up this year. And Ron Coates now finally does have the looks for pass instead of shooting trait, so that might improve him somewhat. I don't know. I still think it might just be that wingers are broken in terms of when it comes to their decisions on shooting, but we will see. So Dewsbury Hall's gone on loan to Scunthorpe for the season. You'll understand why in a minute, because we have actually signed some more backups in that central midfield role. Almost not because I think we needed them, but because the offers and the quality of player that we were able to get for the price was simply too good to turn down in terms of future profits, basically. So there was no reason to keep KDH here. And that same thing actually applies to Martin Payton, who's gone out on loan to our lads over at Bolton. Got to help them out a little bit. Ian Saunders has also gone out on loan to AFC Wimbledon down in the National League. So, and he's on quite a lot of money, and they're actually paying his entire wage. So I was prepared to let that one go. Harry McGuigan, after his excellent performances last year for Newport County, has gone on loan to Scunthorpe this year. I don't know if they're in a higher division or not, but I really want to see what he's capable of playing there, because he did a great job for them last year. Scott Fewster has also gone out on loan, and that's a real surprise, you would have thought, because that just shows you what kind of quality we've got in certain areas. I felt it was worthwhile giving him a loan spell to Wigan in the Championship this year. Give him a full season of playing, and I reckon he could come back in really top shape. And lastly, Stephen Walker, of all people, has gone on loan to Blackburn in the Championship. So we've sent out a couple of left-backs on loan, so just to show you there. He's gone out on loan. They're paying his entire wages, which admittedly isn't much, but they're also giving us a further £27,000 a month, rising to 50 if he doesn't play. So I'm all right with that, to get the guy out and let's see if he can do a job for Blackburn, just see where this kind of goes for him, really. And last but not least, youngster James Bennett has left to go to Huddersfield. £375,000 for this guy. And I just didn't think there was any chance of him ever getting in the team, so I was happy to take the money, to be honest. But now, what you're here for, it's some signings in, and there's been plenty. One particular saga, which I will regale you with momentarily. And obviously, of course, you guys know all about Gabriel Arnold, or Arnie as you know him by. He's all right, you know, he'll definitely do a job for us. He's 18 years old, got solid finishing, really solid finishing, in fact. He's 6'1", gives us a bit of an aerial presence, which I think we could definitely use, so I'm glad to have him around. And now to the first of the actual signings that we've spent real money on, and this is the first one. This is David Ferguson. He's now, this is one of these things where the offer, what we could get for the price was simply too good to turn down. This guy cost us 275 grand from Crusaders. And with a first touch like that, he's already of a really solid level. Like, he's 5'11", so he's not super short. He's got good natural fitness, balance, agility, like brave. Most of the things I want from him are of a relatively solid level, and I'm more than okay with that, to have him around the squad. And this is why I was happy to send the likes of Fewster out on loan, because now we've got this guy, we've got Guberinic, we've got Robbie Burton, Regan Booty, so David Ferguson is here as well. 275 grand. I mean, that's a steal. Next up is a totally free transfer. Ivan Petkov, 20-year-old Bulgarian under-21 international for them, signed on a free transfer from Pirin Blagoevgrad. And I mean, 15 tackling, 13 marking, 11 heading, 6'6". He's not exactly super slow either, but he's got great stamina. He's not like really fast, but great jumping reach, natural fitness, balance. He's got decent decisions, he's decent positioning. He's not here to be a first choice, but the fact is, for free, I could not really say no to a guy like this at 20 years old. His contract was basically up at the end of the year. He's already got 70 senior games under his belt at the age of 20, so a decent amount of experience as well. He's coming just to give us a bit of backup in those spots. I mean, a 3-star current ability player for free. And he's got lots of potential to go further, potentially, so I'll take it. Next up is a left-back. It's Eamon Watty, a Tunisian left-back who's joined us. I think he's Tunisian. Yeah, he is. From SC-E1 over in Tunisia, in fact. He's already got 78 games under his belt. He's already a Tunisian international, 9 caps. I was looking at Africa since we got our scouting range increased, so I thought we'd take a little look over there. Now, this guy is not exactly perfect for what I want for that left-back spot, but the way I'm looking at it is he's a definite improvement over what we had. He's only 5'10", but it's definitely an improvement over Stephen Walker in terms of his height stuff. Not the best in terms of heading or jumping reach, fine. But he's aggressive, he's brave, he's incredibly fast, got great balance, great acceleration, 18 passing as well, excellent work rate. Decent enough tackling of 10. It's not the best. 12 marking, solid decisions. It's got okay positioning. There's a lot of things I like about this guy. Now, £22,000 a week, I grant you, is a lot, but it's the Premier League now, and unfortunately, players do require large wages. I thought that he was a definite step up over what we had, and I think he might just be that little bit better. 10 crossing and 10 dribbling. Not the best, but they're still solid enough to get some decent balls in from that left-back spot, I'm sure. And we do also have another left-back, but he's not joined us yet, and he's the one that the transfer saga is about, because I think I've done a bit of a job on someone in order to sign this guy. This guy costs us £600,000. So again, we're not spending huge amounts of money, like big £5-10 million on players, when I could try to scrounge them out for this sort of thing. Now, some of them have got release clauses, but they're in the sort of 20-30 million pounds. So either way, guaranteed tons of profit, and that's fine by me. Now, I also said I was looking for stuff on that right-hand side, and do not worry, this isn't really the long-term solution to that. This is Tim Omola, but the reason I went after this guy is because he's decently tall, 6'4". He's not the quickest, I must say. Great jumping reach, though, great flair. 15 crossing, 13 dribbling, 13 first touch, decent enough composure, good passing and technique. I think he's a definitely good right-sided player, and that's the way I'm looking at it. Like, he's not got the potential, perhaps, for long-term, and I think £700,000 is quite a lot, but unfortunately, because Austria. But it was the 15 crossing and 13 dribbling that really set him on fire for me. And he's got added height, which is just going to give us a little bit something different out in that wide area. 18 years old, a little bit more to improve, perhaps. Maybe not a great one, but the fact is he's on a 5-year contract with us, which is the main thing, on not a lot of wages too. So at the end of the day, it's not a huge risk in terms of the financial outlay over the long term. So that's fine by me. Don't worry, I have signed another right-sided player, but again, he won't join us until January. Another Serb, you'll be pleased to know. And speaking of Serbs, this is the main reason why I've been able to send out a couple of central midfielders on loan. This is Dusan Sikanic, who's coming from FK Partizan for £600,000. And this guy, honestly, could be... I mean, I talk about Guberinic being a successor to Regan Booty, but I genuinely wonder if this guy might actually be that guy. He's a pacey midfielder with decent crossing and dribbling as well. 15 first touch. He likes a long shot as well of 12. Passing of 15. Vision of 16. Teamwork of 18. I like him a lot. I like him a lot. Now, he's on a lot of money, £18,000 a week, but again, £600,000. Huge release clause he's got in him. All sorts of good stuff here with Dusan Sikanic. We've really packed out that central midfield now with a lot of options, and I'm fine by that. And also, they've all got relatively low squad status expectations for the most part. I tended to go 1 or 2 rungs below what they actually wanted, and most of the time they'll agree for it. That way we won't get too many players complaining about not being in the team all the time. But this is giving us huge amounts of rotation options in that midfield now, because now we've got Booty, Burton, Sikanic, Ferguson and Guberinic. All 5 of those guys can comfortably play in those midfield roles and rotate around, and that pleases me to no end, because they're all of reasonable good quality and will have plenty of time to improve as they're all relatively young, other than sort of Regan Booty. He'll still be our starter though, Booty, because I feel like he's just got something special. But I have made a couple more signings for some bigger money. Not huge money, but bigger. The first of which is Eun Dong Jung. This is the first time one of my scouts has actually brought me a youngish player that I haven't had to go and manually scout, that I've been like, oh damn, this guy's solid. So he's coming from Suwon Blue Wings over in South Korea. Driven personality. He's only 6 foot tall, so not the best, and he's not the quickest either, but he does have excellent positioning and decisions. He's very aggressive, got great determination, but most importantly, 14 tackling, 15 marking, 15 heading, 16 work rate. He has all of the sort of central defensive capabilities that I want. Look at this. It's all... every box is ticked. Bravery is a little on the low side, but not the end of the world. And he's only 19 with a driven personality. He's on 21 grand a week. He cost us £4.3 million, so he's actually our club record signing now. By the way, since you guys did such a wonderful job of nicknames recently, I'm going to need nicknames for as many of these guys as you can think of. Be as creative as possible because, let's face it, some of them were just genius. So yeah, Eun Dong Jung coming in, 8 caps already for South Korea at the age of 19. I'm surprised he wasn't picked up by anyone else. But it was actually one of those players that my scout just brought in, and I was like, that's a really good pick. Well done, lad. And we went forward with the deal. Because the only other big money signing I actually made was a one I stole from Fulham, basically. And I'll show you him now, because he could be the difference this year. And this is he. It's Francisco Guajardo. He's coming from Colo Colo over in Chile. He's 21 years old, resolute personality. Now, you'll notice he's on £68,000 a week. He comfortably on like 3 times what our other highest paid player is on. Thankfully, we don't have any match highest earner clauses anymore, otherwise that could have been devastating for us. But this guy has only cost us £3.8 million. So, I mean, it's either way, we will make a buttload of money on this guy. But the key thing for me is there's a left-sided player who can play that role on support. He's the perfect player for the role that I wanted him for. Because I think our issues on that left-hand side were simply that they weren't able to cross the ball. But the key thing is he has all the attributes that those players have, plus what I wanted. I.e., he's got great acceleration, agility, pace, stamina, can get up and down that wing really, really well. He's got great flair, great what's his technique like? Yeah, technique's great. He's got great work rate, great determination, excellent stuff. But most importantly, he has 15 crossing. That is the most important factor for me, and I think that's what's really going to make a difference for us this season. But then there's this lad. This is Bratislav Pavlovic. He is the guy that I was looking at for the sort of long-term successor to that right wing spot, because 14 crossing already, 11 dribbling, decent decisions and determination. He's not exactly slouch either. Solid passing, good technique. A lot of things I like about him. But the key thing is for me, he's only 17 years old. He'll be joining us in January from Radnitsky over in Serbia. You know I love a Serb. We'll obviously retrain him to play further up, but I think long-term, he actually could be our right-sided winger, and that's kind of what I want from him. We'll have to see how this sort of stuff turns out when he actually joins us, but I really like him. It's just signing whatever the price, which is sort of the reason why I was interested in this lad in general. So he'll be joining us in January as well. And this is he. This is Oleg Kazakov. He plays for Zenit St. Petersburg, but he'll be joining us next summer. Now, he might be the highest. I think my scouts rate him at 91 in the end. This is a weird one, because you can see that he's solid for a left back. 6'1", firstly, he's got the height that I wanted. Solid physicals, but he's only 17, remember. Great determination, flair, teamwork, positioning is solid, decisions are great, bravery's good. Crossing and dribbling only 9 and 9, but 17, remember. First touch solid, marking okay, tackling decent, passing solid. Like, he's generally just a solid player across the ball at the age of 17. And that's why I was really interested in this guy. But then I saw that Burnley had put a bid in for him, because I'd already scouted this guy out, that I wanted him, but I wasn't sure how much to put a bid in for. So when Burnley put a bid in of like £3.5 million, I thought, right, we'll go. We'll put a structured bid where we pay like £2.5 million up front, maybe like another £2.5 million over 3 years, so we can counter them and get like a £5 million bid in. But then something kind of cool happened, and this I really, really like. So fair play to SI for this. We got into a transfer bidding war where Zenit would keep stalling, and then they'd have a bid accepted, and then they'd stall on it, and then they'd come back and say, actually, Burnley had offered us more money. So I had to put another bid in. And essentially, it got to the point where they bid me all the way up to a deal that would have been like 4.8 up front, rising to £12.5 million. And I was like, is that a deal I really want to be doing? So I cancelled, I walked away. We were at the contract stage. They'd finally accepted my offer as the best offer. We were at contracts, and I was like, nah, I'm not going to do it. I walked away from the deal. I thought, I'll just look for someone else. He's just not worth that kind of money, particularly not as I had the Tunisian guy coming in, and I was thinking, do we really need this guy? He wouldn't even join us immediately. And then, for some reason, that was it. But then I got another news article saying Burnley had put a bid in. And I was like, why are they bidding for him again? And then I noticed that their bid was much less than last time. And I was like, that's kind of weird. So I then went back to my original bid of just a 4 million flat fee up front, and they accepted it. And then he's joining us now for £4 million. And now, to our first game of the season, which is against Manchester City. So, not so good. I'm just going to turn this back onto comparison so you can kind of see what's going on here. It still says Stephen Walker's our best player here, but it's not taking into account certain people, for example. So, this menu seems a bit bugged at times. It's going to be tough. We know that. We're just going to give it a free hit. We're going to lose, and that's okay. So, team selection. I'll just do one of these for now, because we've obviously had a lot of preseason friendlies to move stuff around. So, yeah, right-hand side. It's definitely looking better, and you can see Ron Coates has really dropped off in estimations due to other players coming in, though. Ricky Griffiths is going to be our starting right-sided player. I still want to go with the middle three of Booty, Burton and Hermanton for now, but we've got so much depth in that position. Williams at right-back, Hughes and Eun Dong Jung in there as well, with Luati at left-back, with Guajardo at left side. So not a huge amount of changes, really, but the left side has really been the area that's seen the most difference, but the bench is where it's really going to show. So on the bench, Lennon, Akinola, Ferguson, Jones, Petkov, Sikanic and Tyrese Campbell. And that leaves still all of these guys available on the bench, available as options as well. In fact, I might even try Arnold on the bench instead of Tyrese Campbell. But I am still super concerned about the fact that they're forcing us to play a hyper-aggressive style of football. I know you don't have to play it every game, but I feel like even in the past where I've switched over to stuff for like 2 matches, the board have immediately gone dissatisfied. And that does irritate me because they actually wanted more stuff. I was able to negotiate them out of a couple more stupid ones. And you'll all be pleased to know that I kept Kostel Troffin as number 69. That is going to be his number from now on. I mainly just want to see what some of these new lads are capable of here. This is really just a total free hit in the purest definition of it. Griffiths. Guajardo's ball in. And Troffin has headed it wide, and we've actually had the first shot of the game. Here we go. No. Cut out by... There we go. Well played. Oh, no, that's poor. Bad defending. Joao Felix. Good save by Paul. And Troffin isn't going to win that, but it doesn't matter because Booty could fire one over the top here, potentially. And he's found... Here we go. Kostel Troffin's broken the back line. He's in! Oh, what a chance that was for Count Truffles to give us the lead against Manchester City. We look like we've got a bit about us still. We'll probably end up losing 4-0 still, but regardless... Oh, big tackle. Go on, get another one in. No, Sanogo! And it's over the bar. Whoo! Uh-oh. City trying to whip one in. De Bruyne, don't you let... There we go, that's fine, that's fine. Don't let Sterling drive through you because he's capable. You know he is, Danny! Oh, back post. Danny makes it 1-0 to Manchester City. We're not doing badly, though, I have to say. We're not exactly getting battered by them in the opening 20 minutes here. This is a bit of one of these situations where we don't really clear our lines and nobody's marking him at all here. He just ghosts away to the back post. Sam Hughes can't get there, and nothing Paul can do about that. That's frustrating. Ball across, and... Oh, God, what's he doing? Well, that is just a huge error by Nico Williams. That is totally down to us. That should not be a goal. Like, we shouldn't be conceding a goal from that situation there. This is a nothing ball lumped in by Sanogo that's going to absolutely nobody. Like, the keeper could get this. They could all get this. What is Nico Williams doing? He's literally just provided an assist there for Danny to grab his second. Good God. It's hard to know what to expect because we are newly promoted to the Premier League after all. And it is Manchester City. Palauskas. Hughes. Here we go. That's more like it. Finding a bit of space out wide. Nico Williams. Troffin needs to make a run for him, really. Burton. Somebody needs to make a run for him. Now, okay. Troffin's probably offside here, I'd say. He actually wasn't offside there, was he? Go on, whip that out wide. We've got a bit of space now, if we want it. Guajardo. It's found Nico Williams. Can he get past his man? He can, you know. He's in! Griffiths. Blocked. Burton! Tipped over the bar by Edison. We've actually come out firing in this second half. I'm pleased with this. My last change might well be to get Arnie on instead of Troffin. Just to sort of see if we can get some balls in with a bit of height for him to win a header or two for us. Perhaps. We look vulnerable from these free kick second phases, unfortunately. Bernardo. Oh, Joao Felix is in. And has scored. Yeah, that's 2 of our goals today have come from the second phase of these free kicks. And I don't really know what to do to stop that because there's no tactic for that, unfortunately. The tactic only really applies to the first phase. But this happened a lot last season too, where nobody could really organise themselves properly after the free kicks were taken. And City now have a 3rd goal. I mean, we can't really begrudge them that. De Bruyne. And now Eric Garcia's made it 4-0. Yeah, that's just poor. 3 of our goals have been conceded from set pieces in today's game, which is a bad sign for us, really. Laporte heads to the back post, and how is our defender not winning that ball? He's somehow oh dear. Williams does well. Sikonic, there we go. Curtis Jones. Can he square it? He needs to square... Oh, I think we need to do some work on defending set pieces in pre-match. Arnold's ball in. And it's Hughes! Gets the shot at the far post. Okay, so it's going to be a 4-0 defeat at home to Manchester City on the opening day of the season, which is, of course, suboptimal. But I'm pleased with the chance creation on the night, and the fact that 3 of the goals came from set pieces, or the second phases of them, is disappointing, to be honest. But it's Manchester City. It's hard to know how this really stacks up. The fact that we were able to create opportunities against them is definitely a good sign. I think if we work a bit more in training on defending set pieces, then might well be able to strengthen that side of our game, and just because that clearly is going to be a weakness for us, though it could just be a one-off. Who knows? But it was always going to be a baptism of fire when you play Manchester City. And the fact is, we've got Palace away next, then we've got Manchester United and Leicester City is our next home game. So what we're going to do for the next episode is do Leicester and Aston Villa in the home games, because at the end of the day, the big teams are sure they're important, but those aren't the battles that are really going to decide our season, because we're probably going to lose most of them, and if we do get a point, it'll be a fortunate one. Palace away, I want to avoid defeat there. That's our main target for that game, is just don't lose. And then Leicester and Aston Villa in the league, we need to be taking points from those games. Villa away is definitely one we need to be trying to get points, and Leicester at home is going to be tough as hell, but you never know what we're capable of in that one. So, if you've enjoyed that episode and you're looking forward to the new season despite the 4-0 defeat to Manchester City, drop a like on the video. That'd be tremendous. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. And as always, hold your gun, capybara. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.